Today, we're not here to talk about surface-level motivation. We're not here to give you sugar-coated words or temporary inspiration. Today, we're going deeper. Because if you're stuck in life, if you're constantly tired, overwhelmed, doubting yourself, afraid to take risks, repeating the same mistakes, blaming your past, hating your present, or scared of your future, then there's one truth you need to hear. It's not your situation that's broken. It's not your environment. It's not your lack of time, talent, or support. It's your mindset. That's the root. That's the engine. That's the core. The quality of your life is not determined by how hard life hits you. It's determined by how strong your mindset is when life does. And the problem is, most people are carrying around a mindset that was never built by them. It was programmed by fear, by society, by failure, by criticism, by broken dreams. They've been taught to think small, to expect less, to avoid failure, to play safe, to fit in, to stay comfortable. And then they wonder why they feel empty. Listen closely. Your mindset is the operating system of your life. And most people are running an outdated, broken, slow, and virus-filled system. That's why this video matters. Because if you don't take control of your mindset, everything else will control it for you. Your past, your pain, your critics, your phone, your fear. This is not just a motivational video. This is a call to war. Not against the world, but against the weakness inside you. Your mindset is the most powerful weapon you'll ever own. And today, I'll show you how to sharpen it, control it, and use it to create a version of yourself the old you wouldn't recognize. And it's also perfect for your English. You'll improve your vocabulary, listening, and confidence just by watching till the end. So get ready. This might be the most important video you've ever watched. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Your mind is your most powerful weapon. The world teaches us to chase things: degrees, jobs, money, beauty, success, validation. But very few people teach us how to build the one thing that creates all of those: your mindset. If your mindset is powerful, you can walk into any room and command respect. You can face failure without breaking. You can stay calm when life gets chaotic. You can rebuild even when everything falls apart. But if your mindset is weak, even the smallest challenge will crush you. Even the smallest voice of doubt will control you. Even the smallest rejection will break your confidence. So let me ask you something. Have you ever taken time to train your mind? Not just your body, not your skills, not your resume, but your mental strength? Because your mindset controls how you react to problems, how you speak to yourself, how you handle pressure, how you bounce back after loss, how much you grow, how you treat others, how you see yourself, how you live your life. Let me be brutally honest. A person with a powerful mindset can win even with fewer resources, fewer opportunities, fewer advantages. But a person with a weak mindset will lose even when they have everything. Because mindset is the filter through which you experience the world. If your mindset is full of fear, every opportunity will look like a threat. If your mindset is full of self-doubt, every compliment will feel like a lie. If your mindset is full of limitation, you'll see walls where doors exist. That's why this is not optional. It's not a bonus. It's not a nice quote to share on Instagram. Your mindset is the weapon that either protects you or destroys you. And if you don't learn to use it, life will use it against you. This lesson is not about hype. It's about survival. This world will not go easy on you. So your mind better not go soft on you either. Start seeing your mindset as your responsibility. Start treating your thoughts as your weapons. And start realizing that building mental strength is not for the lucky. It's for the ready. Lesson 2. Take the time to train your brain. Let's be honest. When was the last time you sat down to work on your mindset? Not just watched a video, not just liked a quote, but really, deliberately trained your thinking? Most people never do. They train their bodies, go to the gym. They train their careers, read books, take courses. They train their looks, diet, skincare, clothes. But their mind? They leave it untrained, fragile, reactive, full of noise, confusion, fear. And that's why they fall apart at the first sign of discomfort. Understand this. Your mind is not something that fixes itself. It becomes what you feed it. It believes what you tell it. It reflects what you practice. If you don't train it every day, it becomes weaker every day. It gets filled with other people's opinions, negative self-talk, doubt, comparison, jealousy, fear of the future, regret from the past, confusion in the present. And then you wonder why you feel stuck. Let me tell you the truth. You are not stuck in life. You are stuck in a mindset that you've never trained to grow. Training your brain doesn't require 10 hours a day. It requires intention. It requires silence. It requires practice. Here's how you can start. Take 10 minutes every morning to sit in silence and observe your thoughts. Write down the 5 beliefs that are holding you back. And replace them. Start talking to yourself like you talk to someone you love. Stop reacting to everything. Train yourself to pause. Consume content that strengthens your beliefs, not your fears. Stop feeding your brain with poison, gossip, junk, comparison, panic. Think of it this way. If your mind was a garden, would you leave it to grow weeds? If not, then why do you let fear and negativity grow freely in your brain? Your brain is your operating system. If you don't update it, upgrade it, and discipline it, it will crash. Train it daily, because the world will try to break it hourly. And the more you train your brain, the more you'll realize you're not as weak, confused, or lost as you thought. You were just untrained. Lesson 3. Recognize the voice that's ruining your life. Before you can change your mindset, you must first understand what is controlling it. Everyone has a mind, but not everyone understands their mind. And inside every mind, there are 2 voices. 1. The voice that pushes you forward. 2. The voice that pulls you backward. Most people spend their entire lives listening to the wrong one. That negative voice inside you did not appear overnight. It was built slowly, silently, through years of experiences. A teacher who embarrassed you in class. A parent who compared you to someone else. A moment of failure that made you doubt yourself. A heartbreak that made you feel unworthy. A comment someone said that you never forgot. A fear you carried from childhood. A society that constantly tells you you're not enough. All of these moments combined and created an internal voice that now speaks as if it is you. When you say things like, "I'm not good enough," "What if I fail?" "People will judge me," "Nobody will support me," "I don't deserve success," "I'm not smart enough," "It's too late for me." You think these are your thoughts, but they are not. These thoughts were planted into your mind. You absorbed them, believed them, and repeated them until they became your default programming. This voice is the reason. You hesitate. You procrastinate. You overthink. You play small. You don't take risks. You repeat the same patterns. You stay in unhealthy situations. You avoid opportunities that could change your life. If you want to build a powerful mindset, you must learn to separate yourself from that voice. You must understand. Just because you hear a thought does not mean it is true. Just because your mind says something does not mean you must obey. Just because fear speaks loudly does not mean it's right. The strongest people in the world are not those who have no negative thoughts. They are the ones who know how to recognize when the enemy voice is trying to take control. Here is how you begin to break that inner voice. Notice it the moment it appears. Become conscious. Observe your thinking. When your mind says you can't, don't act. Pause. Question it. Ask yourself, who is speaking right now? Is it fear? Is it old trauma? Is it childhood conditioning? Is it insecurity? Is it past failure? Challenge the voice. Most people accept their thoughts as commands, but you must learn to treat them as suggestions. You choose which voice you obey. Replace it with a stronger thought. If the voice says, "You're not enough," you respond, "I am learning, growing, and becoming stronger every day." If it says, "You'll fail," you respond, "Failure is how I learn." If it says, "People will judge you," you respond, "People judge themselves more than they judge me." Speak to yourself with power. Your voice must become louder than your fear. Not once, not twice, every day. Because the voice that ruins your life lives inside your mind. And the first step to taking control of your mindset is learning to identify the enemy hiding in your own thoughts. Until you recognize that voice, it will continue to run your life. Recognize it, expose it, challenge it, replace it, rewrite it. This is how you begin to build a mindset stronger than your past. Lesson 4. Reprogram your thoughts like a warrior. Once you recognize the destructive voice inside you, the next step is not to fight it endlessly. The next step is to reprogram your mind entirely. Think of your mind as a computer. If the software is corrupted, you can't fix the computer by yelling at the screen. You must change the code. Most people try to improve their life without improving their inner code, which is why they experience short-term change and long-term failure. Their actions change, but their beliefs do not. Their goals change, but their mindset does not. And when your mind is still running on old programming, it will always drag you back to your old life. To reprogram your thoughts like a warrior, you need to understand this very important truth. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. Your mind becomes what you repeatedly practice. Your mind follows the patterns you create every day. If you repeat fear, your mind becomes fear. If you repeat self-doubt, your mind becomes doubt. If you repeat discipline, your mind becomes discipline. If you repeat strength, your mind becomes strength. Reprogramming your thoughts means consciously giving your mind new instructions. Here is how a warrior rewires their mental system. They stop feeding their mind with weakness. A warrior does not spend hours consuming negativity, gossip, drama, complaints, or self-pity. Why? Because whatever you feed your mind becomes your mental identity. If you feed your brain junk, it will produce junk thoughts. If you feed it power, it will produce powerful thoughts. They create inner language that builds strength. Your self-talk is not just a sentence. It is self-direction. Your mind listens to your words. Your body responds to your words. Your future shapes itself around your words. A warrior does not say, "I hope I can do it. I'm trying. Maybe one day." A warrior says, "I will, I must, I can." Nothing stops me. I finish what I start. This is not empty motivation. This is self-programming. Strong internal language creates strong internal identity. They visualize without fear. Most people only visualize the worst outcomes. They rehearse failure in their mind before anything even happens. A warrior does the opposite. They use visualization as mental training. They see themselves succeeding before they succeed. They imagine themselves overcoming obstacles before obstacles appear. This trains the mind to expect victory. They confront limiting beliefs directly. Warriors don't run away from uncomfortable thoughts. They challenge them like enemies on the battlefield. When their mind says, "You're not capable," they ask, "Based on what evidence?" When their mind says, "You'll fail," they say, "Failure is part of the path, not the end of it." Warriors dismantle limiting beliefs by exposing them to truth. They repeat mental rituals every day. Reprogramming is not a one-time activity. It is a daily discipline. Meditation, journaling, silence, mental rehearsal, self-talk correction, reflection, belief-building exercises. These are the tools a warrior uses to maintain mental strength. Because if you don't train your thoughts daily, they will fall back into their old patterns. Your mind does not stay upgraded automatically. You must update it continuously. They build identity around strength. You cannot create a powerful life with a weak identity. The strongest minds in the world do not think, "I'll try." They think, "I am." Identity shapes behavior faster than motivation. When your identity becomes, "I am disciplined," "I am resilient," "I am capable," "I am focused," "I am unstoppable," your actions will follow. This is how warriors reprogram their minds. Not with hope, not with luck, but with intention, repetition, and inner discipline. They don't allow life to shape their mindset. They shape their mindset to shape their life. Lesson 5. Control your emotions before they control you. There's something most people never learn in their life. Your emotions are not truth. They're reactions. And if your mindset is not strong, your emotions will control everything you do. You'll make the wrong decisions. You'll push away the right people. You'll give up at the first sign of discomfort. You'll stay stuck in regret, guilt, fear, and sadness for months, sometimes years. Understand this clearly. Emotions are not meant to lead. They are meant to signal something and then be managed. But what do most people do? They let emotions become their commander. They let one bad day define their whole month. They let one rejection destroy their confidence. They let one moment of anxiety make them avoid every future opportunity. A strong mindset doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you know how to handle what you feel without becoming it. When you're angry, do you react blindly or respond with wisdom? When you're sad, do you collapse or do you observe what's missing and grow? When you feel fear, do you shrink or do you move through it anyway? That's what separates a strong mind from a weak one. Not the absence of emotion, but the presence of emotional leadership. A strong mindset acts like the general of an army. The general receives information, reports of threats, challenges, chaos, but he doesn't panic. He listens, he observes, he plans, then he moves. That's what you must become, the general of your emotions. Because here's the danger. If you don't lead your emotions, they will lead your life. And if your emotions lead your life, they will lead you straight into suffering. This is why so many people destroy their own progress. They start something, but the moment they feel doubt, they quit. They get into a relationship, But the moment they feel fear, they push love away. They commit to a goal, but the moment they feel tired, they stop. Their emotions are in charge. Their mindset is asleep. Let me be clear. Your emotions are not the enemy. They are messengers. But messengers don't make decisions. You do. What does this mean in real life? It means that when you feel overwhelmed, pause before you react. When you feel hurt, wait before you speak. When you feel fear, don't take it as fact. When you feel jealousy, don't feed it, trace it. What are you missing? What can you improve? Your emotions are real, but they are not always right. And the reason this lesson matters is because if you can't control your internal world, you will never control your external world. You'll keep sabotaging yourself, blaming others, overreacting, breaking things that didn't need to be broken. A strong mindset is not cold. It's clear. It feels everything, but chooses what to follow. So train your mind to lead your emotions, not follow them. Because if you can't master your feelings, you'll never master your future. Lesson 6. Kill the victim mentality inside you. There is a mindset that destroys lives silently. It doesn't scream, it whispers, and it sounds like this. Why does this always happen to me? I can't change because of my past. It's not my fault. Other people have it easier. Someone should help me. I'm just unlucky. This is the victim mindset. And until you destroy it, you will remain stuck. A victim mindset does 3 things. 1. Blames circumstances instead of taking responsibility. 2. Waits for rescue instead of building self-leadership. 3. Protects ego instead of facing hard truths. Let's go deeper. When you live with a victim mentality, you slowly hand over all your power to the world. You allow your past to decide your future. You allow other people's mistakes to become your identity. You allow pain to become your personality. And this is how people stay stuck for years. Not because they're not capable, but because they're not willing to take full ownership. Here's the truth. You did not choose what happened to you. You didn't choose your family, your trauma, your pain, your environment. But you must choose your mindset. You must choose to stop waiting for someone to fix you. You must choose to stop rehearsing the same story of pain. You must choose to stop blaming people who are no longer in your life. You must choose to stop saying, "I can't," before you even try. A powerful mindset doesn't deny your past. It just refuses to be controlled by it. It says, yes, I was hurt, but I'm healing. Yes, I struggled, but I'm learning. Yes, I've been through pain, but I refuse to build a home there. Let's use one example. A powerful one. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years. He had every reason to hate, to blame, to feel like a victim. But what did he do when he got out? He led a nation. He chose forgiveness. He chose peace. Why? Because his mindset was not built inside a prison. It was built inside his decision to rise above it. This is what a strong mindset does. It separates pain from identity. It refuses to let suffering become your definition. So ask yourself today, what stories am I still telling that keep me stuck? Who am I blaming that I need to stop blaming? What power have I given away that I need to take back? What excuses am I protecting that are actually keeping me small? The world does not owe you healing. No one is coming to save you. But your future is waiting for you to take ownership. You can either live as a victim of your past or as a warrior of your future. You cannot be both. This is the mindset shift that separates those who repeat life and those who reinvent it. Lesson 7. Change your words. Change your world. There is something you do every single day, and it's shaping your entire reality. It's not your habits. It's not your job. It's not your income. It's your language, your inner dialogue, your words. The words you use are not just sounds. They are not just harmless expressions. They are commands to your mind. They are codes for your identity. They are the blueprint for your belief system. Let me explain. When you constantly say, "I'm tired. I'm so busy. I can't handle this. I always mess things up. This is just who I am." Your brain doesn't take those words lightly. It absorbs them. It memorizes them. And then it begins to act them out, even without you realizing. Your body becomes more tired. Your stress increases. Your focus drops. Your ambition shrinks. And your mindset becomes soft. Why? Because your words are writing the software your brain is running. This is not spiritual fluff. This is psychological fact. The brain is constantly listening to the words you repeat the most. It starts to form pathways based on what you say, not what you want. Which means if your language is negative, emotional, reactive, or weak, your mindset will follow. You cannot build a strong, focused, disciplined mindset while speaking the language of chaos, complaint, and fear. And here's the problem. Most people speak words that reflect their current emotions, not words that build their future identity. Let's look at this in practice. Someone who says, "I'm just not confident," is telling their brain to stay small. "I'm terrible with money," is giving permission to remain financially broken. "I'm not a morning person," is locking themselves into laziness. "I could never do that," is confirming their limits before even trying. "I'm too old," is surrendering their growth to a number. This is how you imprison yourself, with your own tongue. But here's the shift. A powerful mindset begins with powerful language. A warrior speaks like a warrior. A leader speaks like a leader. A builder speaks like a builder. They don't lie to themselves. They lead themselves. They say, "I'm learning. I'm building discipline. I'm uncomfortable but growing. I can't control everything, but I can control how I respond. I'm not there yet, but I'm not where I used to be." These words don't pretend. They guide. They teach the mind to see possibility, not just pain. And it goes even deeper. Your words affect others too. The way you talk about yourself teaches others how to treat you. If you speak like a victim, people will handle you like you're fragile. If you speak like a leader, people will begin to expect strength from you. So ask yourself, what words do I repeat every day without even noticing? What language is shaping my life right now? Is it the voice of my past or the voice of who I want to become? Language is the doorway to mindset. Change the way you speak, to yourself, and about your life. And you will begin to change everything else. Because until your voice matches your vision, you will always sabotage your progress. Lesson 8. Train your mind like a soldier. Every morning. Let's get brutally honest. Most people lose the day before it even begins. The first few minutes of your morning decide your entire mental rhythm. And if you're not training your mind with intention, you're already training it by default. To be reactive, scattered, emotional, and weak. A strong mindset doesn't just appear. It's built every morning, in silence, in discipline, and in repetition. Let's explore this in depth. When a soldier wakes up, the first thing they do is follow a strict routine. They make their bed with precision. They move their body with discipline. They prepare their equipment with care. Why? Because it's not about the tasks. It's about the mindset behind them. It's about telling the brain, I am in control. Now compare that to the average person. They wake up late. They grab their phone first. They scroll through notifications, chaos, news, comparison, and noise. They go straight into reaction mode. They skip self-awareness. They rush through their morning. And they enter the day mentally weak, emotionally fragile, and spiritually disconnected. Then they wonder, why am I so distracted? Why do I feel anxious? Why can't I stay focused? Why does the day feel out of control? Because you never claimed your own mind before the world started pulling at it. If your morning is uncontrolled, your mindset will follow. So what does it mean to train your mind like a soldier in the morning? It means you wake up with intention, not escape. Don't grab your phone immediately. Sit with yourself for 5 minutes and check in. What am I feeling? What do I want today? What must I protect my mind from? You feed your mind before anything else. Whether it's meditation, journaling, visualizing, or reading something powerful, you create a mental order. A soldier cleans his weapon. You must clean your thoughts. List your top 3 priorities. Clear the mental clutter. Begin the day with clarity, not chaos. You move your body to wake up your mind. Mental strength is connected to physical movement. Even 5 to 10 minutes of stretching or walking creates momentum and sharpness. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to take control of your first mental hour. Because if you start your day in power, it becomes very hard for the world to knock you down. Morning mindset training is not about motivation. It's about direction. It tells your brain, this is who I am. This is how we think. This is how we move. Do this every day, and over time, your decisions will get sharper. Your emotions will get calmer. Your habits will get stronger. Your vision will get clearer. Your confidence will get louder. And slowly, the world will stop feeling so chaotic. Because you've trained your mind to be the commander, not the follower. Train your mind like a soldier every morning. Not for the day you're having now, but for the life you're building next. Lesson 9. Starve distractions. Feed discipline. Let's speak the truth most people don't want to hear. Your life is not ruined by one big failure. It's ruined by 1,000 small distractions that you let in every day. You don't lose your dreams in one moment. You lose them one scroll at a time. One meaningless notification at a time. One mental detour at a time. You think distractions are harmless, but they are not. They are mental parasites. Small, silent, invisible enemies that slowly eat your focus, your clarity, your momentum, and your time. Every time you check your phone for no reason. Every time you switch tasks without finishing. Every time you chase instant pleasure instead of long-term growth. You're feeding distraction and starving discipline. Now here's the truth. Discipline and distraction cannot coexist. One will kill the other. If you feed distraction, discipline will die. If you feed discipline, distraction will starve. Most people say they lack motivation. That's not true. What they really lack is the ability to control what they allow into their attention. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Because whatever you focus on grows. Focus on fear, and fear grows. Focus on negativity, and it grows. Focus on progress, and you'll start seeing results. Focus on gratitude, and your mindset shifts. But if your attention is constantly being pulled in 1,000 directions, you'll never build the kind of mindset that achieves anything great. Let's be honest. You can't build a focused mind on a distracted lifestyle. That means you cannot scroll through chaos and expect mental clarity. You cannot consume junk all day and expect your brain to be sharp. You cannot multitask constantly and expect peace. You cannot follow everyone's opinion and expect to hear your own voice. Distraction is the enemy of mental strength. And the scary part is, it feels innocent. It doesn't shout. It whispers. Just 2 minutes. Just one quick check. Just a little break. Just one episode. And before you know it, an hour is gone. Then a day. Then a week. Then a year. And still, you're in the same place, with the same potential and the same excuses. But here's the good news. Focus is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the first step is to treat your attention like your life depends on it. Because it does. Here's how powerful people protect their minds. They build mental boundaries. They don't let everything into their head. They filter what they consume, who they listen to, what they watch, and when they check. They create intentional focus blocks. They set time to work. No phone, no distractions, no notifications. Not forever. Just long enough to build strength. This is mental weightlifting. They say no more than they say yes. To every yes you say to something useless, you say no to something that matters. Discipline is not just about doing. It's also about refusing. They understand that boredom is the birthplace of mastery. If you run from boredom, you'll never build discipline. Because real growth happens in repetition, in silence, in stillness. That's where focus is born. You want to build a weapon of a mindset? Then stop feeding distractions. Every time you choose focus over noise, you train your mind to become sharper, harder, and more reliable. Because a powerful mind isn't just about intelligence. It's about control. Control your attention, and you control your outcomes. Control your distractions, and you control your destiny. Lesson 10. Choose belief over fear. Every time. Every moment of your life, you are making a silent decision. Not once, not twice, but hundreds of times a day. And the decision is this. Will I act from belief or from fear? It sounds simple, but this one decision controls everything about you. The way you speak, the way you walk, the way you approach your dreams, the way you handle pain, pressure, failure, love, business, relationships, and opportunity. Most people live from fear, and they don't even know it. They just think they're being realistic, careful, logical, safe. But what they're actually doing is choosing fear dressed in the language of reason. Let me show you how fear hides. You want to start something new, but fear says, "What if I fail?" You want to speak up, but fear says, "What if they laugh?" You want to go all in, but fear says, "What if you're not ready?" You want to dream bigger, but fear says, "Don't be unrealistic." This is how fear tricks you. It always sounds reasonable. It always sounds like it's protecting you. But all it's really doing is keeping you small. Let's break it down. Fear is based on the past. It remembers what went wrong. It exaggerates it. And then it projects that pain onto the future. Fear doesn't look ahead with possibility. Fear looks back with trauma. So, when you allow fear to make your decisions, you are not deciding based on reality. You are deciding based on memory. On the other side is belief. Belief is not about guarantees. Belief is not about certainty. Belief is the discipline of choosing what could go right, even when your past is full of reasons to expect the worst. Belief is when you say, I don't know how yet, but I will find a way. I've never done this before, but I can grow into it. I've failed before, but I'm still alive, and I'm not done. This doesn't mean you deny fear. It means you stop letting it lead. When Elon Musk started building rockets, almost everyone told him it would fail. He had no experience in aerospace. He wasn't from NASA, and he was putting his entire fortune at risk. But belief said, why not? Why can't we try? What if it works? Now look what SpaceX has become. You don't need to be Elon Musk. But the lesson is this. If you wait for fear to go away before you move, you'll be stuck forever. Because fear never disappears. You just stop giving it permission to drive. The greatest minds, the greatest leaders, the greatest creators, they felt fear too. But they didn't obey it. They used it as fuel. You want a powerful mindset? Then practice this rule. Choose belief. Every time. You don't need to believe everything is easy, but you must believe that growth is possible. You must believe that effort creates change. You must believe that action creates confidence. You must believe that the past is not your future unless you repeat it. Fear is automatic. Belief is a choice. So every time you feel stuck, ask yourself, honestly, am I making this decision from fear or from belief? Your answer will determine everything. Lesson 11. Make pain your personal trainer. No one escapes pain. Not the rich, not the smart, not the powerful, not the spiritual, not the healthy, not the kind, not even the lucky. Pain is part of life. The question is, will it weaken you or build you? Most people try to run from pain. They avoid hard conversations. They numb it with distraction. They bury it with food, with entertainment, with complaining, with denial. But that's the fastest way to stay weak. The strongest mindset doesn't avoid pain. It studies it. It trains with it. It uses it. This is the mindset shift you must make. Pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. Think of the gym. When you lift weights, what happens? You tear muscle fibers. You feel sore. You break down tissue. But if you keep going, that pain creates growth. It makes you stronger. It builds something new. Mental pain is the same. When you go through heartbreak, when you lose money, when you feel rejected, when life breaks your plans, when no one understands you, when everything you tried fails, you have two options. 1. You can let pain define you. Let it turn you bitter, scared, hesitant, and weak. 2. Or you can let pain train you. Let it teach you. Let it build your capacity. Let it break your ego and rebuild your strength. There is no progress without discomfort. You cannot grow muscles without pressure. You cannot grow mindset without pain. That's why you must start viewing pain as your personal trainer. And what does a trainer do? A trainer pushes you beyond your comfort zone. A trainer shows you what you're capable of. A trainer doesn't let you quit when it hurts. A trainer holds you accountable. A trainer doesn't hate you. They build you. And most importantly, a trainer prepares you for something greater. This is exactly what pain is trying to do for you. But here's the key. You must meet pain with presence, not panic. You must ask pain what it's here to teach you, not just beg it to go away. Because if you keep avoiding pain, you also avoid the wisdom that comes with it. Let's take one more powerful example. When Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times trying to create the light bulb, someone asked him, "How did it feel to fail so many times?" He replied, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 ways that didn't work." That's not just optimism. That's mental training. That's what it looks like to use failure as feedback. That's what it looks like to treat pain as a teacher. And that's the secret. The most powerful people don't avoid pain. They sit with it. They study it. They write from it. They work through it. They grow because of it. They don't see it as the enemy. They see it as the process. So next time pain shows up, emotional, mental, or physical, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this training me for?" Pain builds mental endurance. Pain reveals hidden strength. Pain humbles arrogance. Pain sharpens purpose. Pain makes your success real. Because without pain, you are soft. Without pain, your mindset has no depth. Without pain, your story has no weight. Pain is not what stops you. Pain is what forges you, if you let it. So stop running. Start learning. Train with it. Grow from it. Because pain, when used correctly, becomes the fuel for your fire and the foundation of your power. Lesson 12. Don't think like a loser. Act like a winner. Let's begin with one uncomfortable truth. Thinking is not always your friend. Yes, it's important to reflect. Yes, it's powerful to plan. Yes, it's useful to have awareness. But too much thinking, especially the wrong kind of thinking, will trap you in an endless cycle of overanalyzing, doubting, delaying, and shrinking. This is what I call loser thinking. And it's not about failure. It's not about status or money. It's about how you approach problems, opportunities, and effort. A loser mindset doesn't necessarily mean you've lost. It means you're thinking in a way that guarantees you will. Here's how that mindset sounds. It probably won't work, so why bother? What if people don't like it? What if I'm not good enough? I'll wait until it's perfect. I don't feel ready yet. They're better than me anyway. This is just too hard. Maybe it's not meant for me. You see what's happening? There's no action. There's no movement. There's no self-leadership. Just thought after thought, spinning in circles, but going nowhere. This is what separates the weak mindset from the powerful one. A weak mindset overthinks. A strong mindset overacts. A winner's mindset doesn't try to think its way to confidence. It takes action first. And confidence grows from the movement. Let me make something clear. Winners also have fear. Winners also have doubt. Winners also feel unprepared. But they don't sit around trying to feel better. They get moving. Because action builds clarity, action builds identity, action builds momentum, and most importantly, action kills fear. Imagine two people standing in front of cold water. The first person stands at the edge thinking, "What if it's too cold? What if I can't handle it? What if people laugh at me? What if I regret it?" And the second person, they just jump in. The moment the second person is in motion, they've already won the battle the first person is still thinking about. That's the difference. One is still in their head. The other is already in the game. You want to stop thinking like a loser? Then act like a winner before you feel ready. Because the truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. You'll never feel 100% sure. And if you wait for perfect clarity before you move, you'll be left behind by the ones who moved with courage instead. This is not about rushing. It's about refusing to be paralyzed by your own thoughts. You don't build a strong mindset by thinking about changing. You build it by doing what needs to be done, especially when it's uncomfortable. Train your brain to stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What happens if I don't try?" The mindset of a loser needs motivation to act. The mindset of a winner acts and finds motivation through movement. Stop rehearsing your fears. Start rehearsing your effort. Stop thinking like a loser. Start acting like a winner. Even if you don't believe in yourself yet, start acting like someone who does, because eventually, your mind will catch up to your actions. If you've made it this far, then let me say something real. From one human being to another, the world is loud. It pulls at your attention. It tries to convince you to stay small, to stay distracted, to stay soft. It makes you question yourself. It makes you doubt your worth. It feeds you fear and then sells you comfort. But here's the truth the world doesn't tell you. You are not here to survive. You are here to evolve. You are here to grow into someone your old self wouldn't recognize. You are here to master your mind, because your mind controls your life. And that's why your mindset is your greatest weapon. Not because it makes everything easy, but because it gives you the strength to keep going when life is not. The most powerful people you admire, they aren't perfect. They aren't fearless. They aren't lucky. They are simply the people who decided to take control of their inner world when everyone else was still blaming the outer world. And now it's your turn. So wherever you are in your journey, whether you're healing, building, fighting, learning, restarting, or rising again, know this: your mind is your home. Your mind is your kingdom. And your mind is your most powerful weapon. Use it. Protect it. Train it. Sharpen it. And never let the world convince you to lay it down. Because once your mindset is unbreakable, so are you. Now go build the life your past self never thought was possible. You have the weapon. Use it well.